Good morning, everybody. Stu Smith here going live. I hope you guys are well today. It is Monday, so we're going to do a live Q&A. And while you guys congregate, let's chat about something. The power of the push-up. Just wrote an article this week, or today, I guess. Got it done this morning for military.com, and it's about push-ups. And there was a study a few years ago with firefighters, and they took push-up tests, every one of them. It was over 1,000, and over the next 10 years, they observed their ability to maintain those push-ups, but also observed other illnesses, heart attacks primarily. And so you have a 96% less of a chance of having a heart attack in your 40s and 50s if you can do over 40 push-ups, according to this study. And it was even better. They also took another marker of aerobic capacity marker, just a treadmill walk, and it was a better representation of fitness and cardiovascular health than actually walking. So push-up power. And if you think about what the power of the push-up brings, first of all, it's easy. Don't need any equipment, just need some floor space. It's easy to modify. You can go to your knees, you can lean up against a table. The more of an angle you give yourself, the easier it is. You can lean up against a wall if you need to, and then progress yourself down to horizontal. When you do that, you're not only working your chest, shoulders, and triceps, you're working your core, which also enables you to move more freely. If you think about the movement itself, if you ever trip or fall, what's the first thing you have to do? A push up. So just makes you more durable overall as well. And I thought it was an interesting study. In fact, if you read in the description of the of this article, of this video here on YouTube, I didn't put it over here on Instagram. You can see links to those studies and a nationwide survey. It starts off that 11% of the population can do 50 push-ups or above. But if you can do 40, you have a 96% chance of cardiovascular disease, which is pretty good. Than those who can do fewer than 10. That's the caveat there. So let me introduce to you an early moment in my youth where I saw the power of the push-up. My granddad, who was Army veteran, World War II, Patton's Third Army, went in all the way from, he just moved all the way through Normandy, all the way to Berlin. Saw like 11 battles, I think. Anyway, I remember him at 80, and I was probably 15, 16. I just, kind of got into fitness. And I remember him, we were all talking about me working out and playing sports, and he drops down. He goes, "Hey, how many push-ups can you do?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't think I've ever maxed them." And he and I both did 20 push-ups together, and he was 80. And I was like, "Damn, that's awesome. That's what I want to do." I want to be 80 years old. Anyway, the beauty of that is it showed me that, you stay fit and you stay active. You have a good last decade, because he was moving until the day he drew his last breath. So, yeah, good man too. Good man. But that was the power of the push-up. For me, it started there. And the study kind of backs it up. It's the perfect exercise, easily modified. Set a standard for yourself and maintain it all your life. Easy ways to improve with pyramids and supersets and AMRAPs. You can mix it all up and come up with a really good push-up program that's that's going to help you. And if you look at all military and law enforcement and firefighter fitness tests, guess what they have in it? Push-ups. That's for a reason. So the power of the push-up. I just wanted to share that with you. It was a fun article I wrote, and a little bit of history there as well. So what do we have? Looks like Ryan's helping me take notes over here. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is sad. Federal agents can barely do 22 push-ups. Get those push-ups involved as regular part of life. Don't get me started on pull-ups. Oh yeah. Pull-ups is a whole different animal. If you think about the beauty of calisthenics, one, doesn't take a lot of equipment. And even if you don't have a pull-up bar, you can either one, build a pull-up bar. You can buy a power tower, probably less than $100 on Amazon, or you can go to a park and find a set of monkey bars and crank out pull-ups. But the pull-up and the dip are the two heavyweight exercises of the calisthenics world, if you think about it, because nearly all your body weight is on your shoulders for both of those exercises and all the muscles corresponding. So, yeah, it takes some work. Push up, probably about 65% of your body weight is on that, on your shoulders whenever you do that. And then if you go to your knees, definitely less than 50% of your body weight's on your shoulders. So it's a good progression as well, starting off with knee push-ups. And John says it's free. The push-up is free. That's the beauty of it. You can do it all anytime you want. Do they still have Creature Black Lagoon statue at Bud's? I'm pretty sure they do. I've seen a bunch of pictures with it recently. I don't think they're old pictures. A bunch of friends went back, took pictures with it. Yeah. To my knowledge, it's still there. I haven't been there in a very long time. I need to get there. My pull-ups and dips seem to be way better than push-ups. Interesting. Assuming my back is more developed for whatever reason. Pull-ups fatigue my chest was faster than the other muscle groups. The only group of athletes that I have seen that are better at pull-ups and dips, for that matter, than push-ups are people who pull a lot. So rowers, climbers, those guys seem to be better at pull-ups than push-ups. I remember we had one guy that was in my Bud's class. He was big too, like 220, could do 30 pull-ups. He was a heavyweight rower, really good collegiate heavyweight rower. And then, he couldn't bench press his body weight. They just didn't do a whole lot of this in their training. So it's not uncommon. You just gotta, if you have a weakness, you gotta figure it out and don't ignore it. How many pull-ups did you have to do at Bud's? Good question. I don't know. I don't think we ever really counted. I mean, you have a max push-up test or pull-up test, in the PST. So some guys are doing 20, some guys are doing 15, some guys are doing above 30. So that is varied. For workouts, I would say we probably built up over the time up to workouts where there's at least 100 pull-ups in them. Maybe more, maybe 150. I'm reading By Water Beneath the Walls and thoroughly enjoying it. Thanks for recommendation. Yeah, it's a great book. If you want to learn the history of not just SEALs, all special operations in the United States and even around the world because we got a lot of our ideas from um, our allies and Brits pre-World War II and during and post-World War II is the timeline this takes. In fact, I was always tell people I'm amazed that this is a SEAL book, where it's really not. It is, but they don't even use the term Navy SEAL until, like I said, chapter 9. So you get a really good history of all the forefathers who created and started um, training to create these units across the military branches and beyond within government as well. Let's see how to increase the rep for push-ups. Read that article. If you I mean, you got to just do more push-ups. I mean, you can add bench press. Something we do too is like in our lift cycle, we're still working on push-ups. We warm up with a little pyramid, 1 to 10, with pull-ups and push-ups on the upper body day, and then we lift heavy. And then right after, so some days, not every day, right after that heavy lift, like you finish that 5x5 rep of bench press, you roll over and see how many push-ups you can do. And if you can do more than 10 at that period, uh, you didn't do enough bench press or you didn't go heavy enough, right? So what I'm trying to do is try to simulate that last 2 minutes of a 2-minute push-up test, or I'm sorry, the last 30 seconds of a 2-minute push-up test when you're just barely able to crank out push-ups. And it's a good way to do it like right after your bench press. So anytime you do bench, just follow it up with a max set of push-ups, and you got to go to near failure on that bench to really make it work. Otherwise, you're going to do 30 push-ups, and it's not what I'm going for. I'm going for not even double digits, less than 10. That's a great way. I've seen guys blow up their push-ups with that method. Let's see here. Do you think it's possible to join the Army at 43 with no prior service with an age waiver? I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm sure it's possible, but I mean, them making it 42 is a stretch. They are trying to get older people in. But yeah, with a waiver, anything's possible. And depending on the job you want to do, anything's possible. I can't tell you how many 40 plus 50-year-olds I have helped prepare for service, but they were doing different jobs. They were a surgeon, they were a doctor, they were a priest, those type of jobs. But they were still in the Army or Navy even. I'm a yoga teacher, similar to push-ups. It's called Chaturanga, then transition to downward dog. I do that for 20 rounds, making me sweat and feel the burn. Hey, good. I like yoga. I have no problem with yoga. Are we allowed chafe cream at Bud's? I know. Yeah, you are. I wouldn't put Vaseline on it. It just collects sand. But there are some people figuring it out and getting no chafing. This last Hell Week, I was talking to a few of them. They said, yeah, I got no chafing. I was like, what? I was so jealous because I had chafing so bad. It was like 3rd-degree burns in between my legs. So if you can figure out something, do it. I've been struggling with over-unders, 25 free, 25 under. Past my 3rd set, I find it extremely hard to do full 25 under. I've been doing breath holds to improve, but still struggling. Could be your lack of efficiency. Send me a picture or a video of you swimming 25 meters underwater. And also know that it's 25 under 25 free. It's not 25 free, then 25 under. So the over unders is kind of a misnomer because it's really an under over. That could be an issue because I will tell you it's hard. I've done it that way before, and it is hard to swim underwater for 25 immediately after swimming 25 free, even if you're super efficient with freestyle. Ryan says use Destin for buds. Destin? I guess that's a cream, like a baby cream. My friends are Green Beret and said, is it Destin? I don't think it's called Destin, is it? Desitin. I knew that was not quite right because I remember when Desitin. So it's this has an I in it. Desitin cream. Yeah, I guess that works too. I don't know. I never used it, never heard of it until I had kids. I've been struggling with. Oh, I answered that question. Looks like I've got all these questions answered over here. Did I miss any? No. Got them all over here. Let's see. Yeah, I think the Army age limit is 42. After that, you do need some kind of a waiver, but it does depend on the job. Is recon obstacle course the same difficulty as the SEALs? I don't know. I've never run it before. I know they have an endurance course that is completely different. That is like a 3 or 4 mile run mixed with half a dozen or a dozen obstacles thrown in there. That's what they call the endurance course, but it's not just for recon guys. I mean, I have seen the recon guys going through BRC do the Buds O course when they're out there in Coronado. If someone has EMT or even paramedic, but mostly EMT before SOC-M, the medic training course for special operations, can you skip a phase? You might be able to skip some of the basics, but you need to be like a certified paramedic to be able to skip it. I don't think EMT is going to do it. They'll probably just make you redo that basic course. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Paramedic, yes. Especially if you're licensed in your state or nation, you can definitely skip some things. Let's see. How many sets of over-under should I be able to do with these? Good question. I'm shooting for 10. 10's good. You'll do at least 5. In fact, the standard I have seen a lot of folks do to prepare for PJ or dive school is they do 5 over-unders, 25-25, with on a minute 30 interval. So you have to get 5 done by 7:30. So try that. See if you can do that. But if you can do 10, great. Do it on that interval. Because I think the test is for 5, but some of the workouts will take you to 10 that they have in there. Would you argue that training with music is cheating? I tend to refrain from hyping myself with external influences because I know under a boat, no one or anything is going to save me. It's not a bad idea. I've never really been needed music to train, whether that was in a gym or even in my earphones. But I will say this, I mean, sometimes going in the gym and having music playing is just a good background noise more than anything. But for there, I don't really see an issue. But if you need it to go run or you need it to, I don't know, swim or ruck, then yeah. I mean, maybe it could be a crutch. Mm. I wouldn't argue, but and I wouldn't say it's cheating. It just may be a crutch that you might need later. You don't want to have to deal with that. Any advice fast track recovery of stress fracture for in the metatarsals? Oof. What do you recommend the best rehab? You know what? I'm not that guy. I'm not a doctor of physical therapy, a rehab specialist. All I can tell you is rest it and don't put any impact forces on it. So ride a bike, do elliptical, um, swim. But when it comes to rucking or running, definitely don't do. That needs healing. Some may put you in a boot for it. I don't know if that's necessary, but you have to definitely take it easy on it and just let it heal. I mean, I'm sure there are probably supplements that can help you heal faster, maybe some D3 calcium, but talk to a specialist who has actually gone to school to help you with that. That's not me. I mean, have I had experience with stress fractures? Yes. Rest was how I fixed it and eating well. All right, let's see what else we got here. Is a push off the wall included on those over unders? Yes. Now there are some over under options that you might see at different dive schools, um, where you go down to the bottom, touch the bottom with your hand, and then start swimming with no kick off the wall. So yes and no. I've seen it both ways. But it's usually in a deep end, which makes the over unders easier. If you're in a shallow pool, the underwater swim is much more difficult. There's not much room to actually get a good pull. You're fighting with the surface. Sometimes you're floating up to the surface. But when you're deeper, it's easier. Everybody to the person will tell you that a 25-yard swim in our pool is harder than a 38-yard underwater swim when you go just do the deep end side to side, because our pool is 25 yards by 19 yards, so it's not a huge pool, but we get like 6 lanes in it. And if you go side to side, that's 38 yards, and everybody makes that, but they struggle with the shallow water 25. At Budge, you'll take the 50-meter underwater all in the deep end. There's no shallow water swimming. Week 4 of your increase the PST, or sorry, increase your strength and crush the PST. Let's see, what did I do with you? A whole bunch of you guys. Here we go. Increase strength, crush PST, StuSmithFitness.com. Check it out. As the blizzard passes by, using my weight vest for after my warm up, should I follow a different day if it's just death by push-ups? Not sure it need to incorporate sit-ups as well. I don't know. I mean, the day is the day. If you need to rearrange a day because gyms are closed or something like that, then absolutely rearrange the days to do that. But just do the day as best you can. We started late today, so we're not even working out until noon today because we had snow on the ground and school's canceled. Our place where we meet and train is closed, and um, they have to shovel all the snow out of the parking lot. So I gave them till noon to do that, and so we're going to start at noon. But I mean, that's what you do whenever weather interferes with your schedule or life interferes with your schedule. You move things around. But do you want to incorporate sit-ups as well? Sure, incorporate sit-ups as well if you'd like. What's that there? What's this? 50 more than I can do. You can build up your push-ups. Busted out 4,000 in an hour combat fins. Oh, is this Eric? Hey, buddy. Be 54 next Monday. Good job. Nice work. That's solid work. Anything under 60 is really good. I'm 37, can do over 50 strict push-ups in a set, 18 pull-ups in a set. Awesome. Sometimes I thought about joining the military, but I wouldn't ever under Trump. Oh, understand. But that's good push-up scores. All right. Well, looks like I've answered all those questions. You got any more questions? I got a few more minutes before I need to get to work. Deck of Pain 465 every other day. I'm not sure what that means. I guess I could Google it. All right. Well, tomorrow I am planning on showing some videos of swimming, maybe some treading videos as well. And we will, critique those. So bring your questions tomorrow. Send me some videos. If you want me to critique them on the show, I will. If not, I will just send you an email critique. Those don't cost anything. Happy to do it. I also do it over at school, my school platform. If you haven't been over there yet, it's turning into a fun little community. People are joining, and we are continuing to grow. So check out this link to the school.com platform, and you can post videos on there. Let me see them. It's a closed community, so it's not open to the internet. And we discuss all types of things. In fact, I put the full article on this push-up article over there on school to discuss as well. Oh, we've got a few more questions. How many yards of swimming and miles of running a week do you recommend for SOAS? SOAS is different. You don't need to be crazy mileage, but I would be at least 30, miles a week, and make most of those fast, because SOAS is all about testing. It's not about enduring anything. You got a week of hard stuff to do. So anybody can get through a week of hard stuff to do and tests. So 4-mile tests, a ruck, mile swim with fins. Swimming with fins, we usually swim 4 or 5 days a week, and we get in 2,000 a day. So anywhere between 8 and 10,000 yards, sometimes 12,000 yards if you really want to pump it. But that's for buds and SOAS. I think if you suck at swimming, you need to swim more. If you don't suck at swimming and you're a swimmer, you probably need to run more and lift more. So I get those guys out of the pool and we actually lift with them. So the answer is it depends. It depends on your athletic history and how hard you need to turn a weakness into a strength, because that's what you should focus on. If running and swimming is a weakness, then yeah, you should be doing that a lot, but not overdoing it, because people who have running weaknesses are the first to get running injuries because they're just not used to running that much. Do you include one arm push-ups in your workout? You know what? I never have. I've never written a program for one arm push-ups. Are they something you could add yourself? Absolutely. I done them. I've done them. Could probably still do one. I just don't. And I tell you, if I had a bum arm, I would probably do them. Definitely. Where do you recommend me getting some rocket fins for relative affordable price? Good question. Are absolute rocket fins necessary? Can I use other fins? What do you recommend? You know what? I never had rocket fins to prepare for buds, and they issued rocket fins. They also issued duck feet fins, which were even worse than rocket fins, I think. Um, and I just had a normal pair of scuba fins. I'd been scuba diving since I was 12. I had scuba fins with booties, fiberglass type power planer fins. I think they were made by Mars, Mars. Assume that's how you pronounce it. Um, they're French, so Mares maybe. Anyway, Cressy Frog fins are another good one you can get. But if you're looking for affordable rocket fins, you can definitely find them at eBay. Might be able to even find them on Facebook Marketplace. Um, there's a lot of veterans around here, so a lot of our guys find um, rocket fins that way. Some people like the UST over rockets. I personally don't. I don't like rockets at all. I prefer the jet fins if I have to get a bigger pair of fins. So jet fins or rocket fins. They look exactly the same. They're just made by a different company. And for me, I've just found them a little more pliable. But everybody has their preferences. If you have big legs, you can probably handle any one that you put on your feet. So big, strong legs, pliable, flexible ankles, that will help. That's a good question. I appreciate that. I may have to write something up on that because that's a pretty common question. Can I attend buds with a broken arm that's healed 200%? Is that waiverable? Wow, a 200% healed arm. What's that mean? You like grew another arm? Um, so fully healed, you're saying. Is that waiverable? Absolutely. I broke my leg when I was 12 years old roller skating. That was waiverable. So yes. Even if you had surgery, it's waiverable. Push-ups for UK CTSFO. I don't know what that is. I don't know what kind of question that is, sir. Do you have to do them? I don't even know. One last thing, Stu. I've heard boats on heads are literally horrible as it drops a lot of guys. Yes, they are bad. Anything to train for this some capacity? Maybe weighted stairmaster. I've heard. Um, ruck, soft sand. Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do. Have you not seen some of our training? In fact, if you Google the term building, in fact, here's the article. You know what? I'm just going to share it with you. I got two articles for I want you to see. Stair steppers, both. And I'll put them in the comment section here over on YouTube and Instagram for you. But here, check this out. Building necks for running boats, easy supplemental, no extra equipment. And this is pretty basic. I mean, you can see right here, not a whole lot to it. We call it 6-minute neck. Some people bump it into like a 9-minute neck and do another round, or make it a little longer. So you're just up and down with your head, and then you're side to side with your head, and then your left. So you say yes with your head, you say no with your head, and you go side to side with your head like this. You lay on your back, and then you flip it over, and you do the same thing. So anyway, that's what we do. So how about this one? You guys see this one? I don't know if you can see this one yet. All right. Let me see. I might have to share. Yep. I have to share the second one. This one's about, it's on military.com. For those looking to join Spec Ops, weighted stair steps are a useful tool. So check out this one. It's just an article. I'll put I put the link into the section here, but this is the title of the article for those looking at weighted stair steppers are a useful tool. And I got this idea from a firefighter. Firefighter came in with a ruck on and started doing stair steppers. We're like, what is this? What are you working on? And then he told us, I'm like, huh, that might be a pretty good option for folks who don't have soft sand. And that's what we used it for. As you can see here, we got um, stair stepper pyramid, skip steps. There's a couple different ways. 20 pounds, steady stair pace. You can take it up to 50 pounds if you want to really tear up your legs. But it's a good way to get those legs ready for soft sand and boats. Yeah, read those two. It's going to help you with your neck, and it's going to help you with your load bearing capability. But if you have a beach, run that soft sand for sure. All right. Looks like I've answered everything. You guys, I appreciate your time. Go check out stewsmithfitness.com. Tons of stuff over there. Great articles I'm putting out every 3 or 4 days. And yeah, great programs as well. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk swimming tomorrow. You guys have a good one.